Just wanted to do an update about some things that have been going on in my life. A family member had a severe dust mite allergy. So I have had to do some deep dives into making my home cleaner and less toxic, so to speak. I guess you could say that's when I fell down the rabbit trail. What you're looking at on the screen is a label of Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It's a bottle I had put back in the cabinet, and tiny little letters. I could not read everything it said, and quite frankly, I didn't even consider doing so. It's kind of like what the ingredient label on your bottle of soap looks like. I think it's safe to say most people don't read those little tiny labels. And it's safe to say when I started reading labels and doing a little research, I was a bit horrified. You could see that there are some things in the world I was really not very aware of. For example, when I started doing research on that, I realized the utensils I had been serving dinner with have been made with recycled television sets and electronics. I saw a writing from the World Economic Forum saying that black plastic is not easily recycled because the optical sensors in the recycling centers are not able to distinguish that color. It was evident in that article the most pressing concern with the World Economic Forum is that that particular plastic is not recycled and usually ends up in the landfill. They do mention it's hazardous and toxic. Now, some might say it's a bit selfish, but that ending up in the landfill was not my number one concern. My number one concern is this is what I have been using to serve food to my family. So that began my search for healthier alternatives for many different products. Now, just to make sure everything is absolutely clear, Dr. Bronner's is a very clean product. It is a very good product. Unfortunately, I do not feel comfortable using it because of everything that the label says, and probably a bunch of stuff the label says that I didn't even see because literally there's so many letters and tiny letters on the whole label. My dear friend and neighbor told me this used to be her favorite soap, but she doesn't buy it anymore because of what the label says. And I'm going to agree with her. Just a quick glance at this part. The Second Coming of God's Law, Muhammad's Arabs, 1948, found Israel Essene scrolls. And Einstein's Hillel proved that as no 6-year-old can grow up free without the ABC, so certain can no 12-year-old survive free without the moral. ABC mason, tent and sandal maker, Rabbi Hillel taught carpenter Jesus to unite all mankind free in our eternal Father's great all one God faith, for we're all one or none. I guess I should be relieved I had the old label because some of the new labels had Dr. Bronner peering through the label himself. I must admit, that would be kind of creepy if you're seeing that while you're in the shower. I think I kind of annoyed my family when I began pointing out the pans we've used to cook food release toxic chemicals. The fabric softener has an ingredient that might have actually triggered the allergies in the first place. And the fact that the lip balm I've used for as long as I can remember says petroleum jelly for a reason. The things I post on this YouTube channel are because the people who are around me got tired of me talking about them. I kind of ran out of people who would even listen, and that's how I ended up here. So that brings me to this point. As I am learning these things, I am horrified by some of the things I'm learning, and I feel the need to share them with some people. I also feel it's good to stay on track, so I don't want to bombard my subscribers on this channel about that, But I have created a separate channel called Tiny Changes at Home. You can see when I took the screenshot, I have 1 subscriber. So shout out to that 1 subscriber. Thank you. What I'm doing is looking at different products and doing a little bit of research about some of them and looking for some healthier swaps, either long-term or something I can do in between now and the time I'm ready to actually start replacing products. I also want to go about this in a frugal way without spending a whole lot of money doing so. I'm just tired of using things that are destroying my body and the bodies of my family. The Bible says our body is a temple and we are supposed to be taking care of that temple. I feel led to do this because the Bible says the enemy comes but to kill, steal, and destroy. And I can see that from environmental things, they are trying to kill, steal, and destroy God's creation, us. I have felt a biblical obligation to share the dangers I see oncoming, and this is one of them. It's not Bible prophecy, it's in our houses. If you'd like to hop over and subscribe or check out some of the videos I have been posting, please do so. I'll put the link to the channel in the description. And I don't want to bombard the viewers that are watching who just want to stick to Bible prophecy. So I think that's probably a good way I can share what I'm learning.